Hi YouTube. Okay. So I had an experience this morning and I thought I would tell you about it in hopes that anybody else who has this particular problem that I have can use the information that I'm going to give you. So recently I've had some issues with some family members and I haven't really confronted them. I'm just kind of like dealing with the emotions that are coming off. And one of those emotions is anger. Only I'm not really good at anger. Like, I haven't ever really been angry before. Anyway, so this weekend I did become angry and I didn't know how to deal with it, and then I had like some emotional backlash from some other things, and so anyway, I decided to call a friend of mine today who actually used to be my shrink, and I thought I would talk to him about it. And I was like, so I found something that I'm not good at. Another something I'm not good at. I'm really not good at being angry. And he pointed out to me, and I love it when somebody knows you better than you know yourself. He was like, Morgan, first of all, there are several reasons that you're experiencing this. And this is healthy. It's healthy that you're becoming angry, because angry for you is a motivator. He was like, number one, you have never been allowed to be angry without it damaging you. You know, like if I was a kid and I was angry, like I just wasn't allowed to be. It was not an experience I was given. And then in relationships, like if I got angry, then the backlash was either they left for extended periods of time so I was so upset by the time they got back that I was like manipulated into begging for forgiveness, even if I had a right to be angry. Or you know, or they would hit me, which is also not a positive response. So he was like, you don't know how to experience anger with not getting hurt at the same time. And the second thing he said was, that you're afraid if you get angry, you're going to behave like the people that you've experienced anger from, which those people, when they get angry, are abusive and unkind and hurtful and scary, and that's obviously not how I want to be, you know. And he's like, they don't have healthy anger, and you're afraid that, you know, because those are really the only angry experiences you've seen or been a part of, that, you know, it's very damaging to you, and you're afraid that you're going to be that way. He's like, but you're not, because you're going to learn how to do this. And then he pointed out, you know, I was like, but anger is a secondary emotion. It's not a primary emotion. Primary emotion is a real emotion, something you experience, but a secondary emotion is as a result of another emotion. Nobody just gets angry. You're angry because of something. And he said that I'm extremely analytical and that it makes me an extraordinary friend and lover, because I can accept people because I just kind of analyze where they're coming from. But that when I do that with myself, I just skip the whole anger process and move on to the primary emotion, where I clean up that mess. And so I'm skipping an emotion. So then I was talking about this argument that Mitch and I had, and we were both angry, and I was really terrified because he was angry, even though he wasn't going to hurt me. And he left for like 5 minutes, which felt like forever. And he just drove around the block. I freaked out, and so my friend was like, well, do you know why? And I'm like, yeah, because when my ex did that, like, he left for hours and hours and hours, and and then by the time he got back, like, I was terrified. I was just terrified. And he was like, well, you know, you have abandonment issues. But I don't think you really dealt with all the emotions that you experienced when you were with Steve. And I'm like, yes, I have. I'm fine. And he was like, no, you're not. And then he was like, do you think about it? And I was like, yeah, I think about it sometimes. He's like, I think you need to talk to your boyfriend and tell him what happened. I'm like, oh, wait a minute. I hate that. I hate that whole idea of like telling somebody in detail about a really bad experience. And he's like, you know, how many times do you remember being angry at your ex while you guys were together? Like someone who abused you, someone who manipulated you, someone who really hurt you. How many times do you remember being angry? I'm like, 3. And he's like, and you know what happened when you got angry then? And I'm like, yeah. One time you got really mad back. And that was a really bad experience. One time I ended up leaving. So, anyway, now, so he said what I have to do is talk to Mitch and tell him what happened in that relationship, because that was like my last big relationship, so that he can better understand me, and so that he's not like unconsciously hitting triggers that I haven't worked through. I hate talk therapy. I like behavioral therapy. I like to do things. I like to change a behavior pattern. I like to be able to see it happening. And but apparently I need to talk to. Also, he said that I need to like practice experiencing anger, and I need to do that by like actually like sitting down 3 times a week and thinking about something recently that's made me angry, and like just experience that emotion for 15 minutes and then like let it go, so that I can experience it more and more. It becomes less uncomfortable, and I'm in effect like training my body to experience the emotion and not have an unhealthy response. So that's behavioral therapy that I like. So I guess I'm gonna do that, and I'm just kind of like really scared about it because I'm just not good at it. I hate when I'm not good at something. Aww. But I thought maybe if I talk to you guys, you could, you know, if you don't understand, or if you do have this problem, then you kind of know where I'm coming from, and maybe you could help me, or maybe you could do it with me, just so that I, you know, can be a healthier, happier person, and so that I can get through this little trial and tribulation. I mean, he had me kind of practice it on the phone, and he was like, okay, think of something that made you angry. And I was like, yeah, I have something that one of my brothers said to me that really, well, it really hurt my feelings, but it made me angry too. And he was like, now, what was your response when he said that? And I was like, I just walked out of the room. I didn't really respond. And he's like, okay, well, try responding to it. And I'm like, okay, shut the fuck up. What the fuck does that mean? And he was like, okay, why didn't you say that? And I'm like, because he might have said that he didn't care. He might have just not cared that I was angry. And he's like, and what's so bad about that? And I'm like, because then I would not have elicited a response, because I don't want to know that he wouldn't care. And he's like, because that would hurt your feelings, but your feelings were already hurt. And I'm like, oh, yeah, I guess. He's like, maybe you need to like let your first response out sometimes. And I'm like, but it's not very nice. He's like, so you're angry. He's like, you know, I always get quiet when I'm angry because I don't want to say anything that's really going to damage or hurt somebody. He's like, there's only so much damage you can cause, you know, and if someone's not strong enough to understand that your primary instinct is to say that thing and let it go because they know what a great person you are, then that person's not really worth your time, you know. Maybe this is how you need to weed out people in your life that you're not okay with. So I guess he's right, and I'm gonna try this new thing. And anyway, I have a ton of work to do today, so I'm actually gonna start getting that done. But hope everybody has a wonderful day, and maybe I'll vlog again tonight. I just wanted to kind of let you in on my informal therapy session. And we'll just keep progress, like, you know, a little progress report. We'll just see how this works out for me. And hopefully at the end of it, I'll be like, I am experiencing anger. And I'm really good at it now. And I'm not unhealthy when I do it. So anyways, guys, have a wonderful day. I hope you get everything done that you want to get done. Like, and I hope that I do too. And I'll talk to you guys later. Bye, YouTube.